Okay, so this is your official write off warm up. If you've been wondering what you can actually deduct in your business and what's just not it, then this video is for you. Because Make It Count is my actually fun tax workshop. It's happening in just a few days, less than a week. And before we go all in together, I want to help you get a head start. So, in today's video, we'll talk about what counts, what doesn't count, and how to make smarter money moves starting right now. So let's start with the good news. You're probably missing out on deductions you didn't even know you were allowed to take. Here are a few write offs that do count. One, coaching and courses. Coaching and courses, all right? If it helps you grow or operate your business, then that's a legit expense. That counts. Software and subscriptions, things like Zoom, Canva, ClickUp, project management tools, scheduling apps, these are all deductible. They make life easier as a business owner, right? That counts. Business meals and coffee dates. If you're meeting with a client, a potential collaborator, or even taking yourself out for business planning, then those might count. Those meals might count. But what you got to do is make sure you're tracking the who and the why. So, who you're going to that business coffee or that business lunch with, and by who, it could be potential client, things like that, or and why. Why are you meeting with this person claiming a business expense? Because it's a potential client, right? So, you just want to make sure that you're recording and tracking who and why you're going on those meals, right? The next one is equipment. So with equipment, think of things like your phone, your laptop, your camera, tripod, printer, right? All the technology that we need to run our business. These business tools are deductible. And then lastly, another one is home office and utilities. So with home office, that counts. If you're working from a dedicated space in your home, then you can actually track a portion of your rent and mortgage and household bills, right? Your rent, your mortgage, you it's partially deductible as a business expense. Now, there's certain ways to go about uh, doing this. And if you want the details, go ahead and download my free checklist all about deductions for small business owners. It's in the description below. All right. Now, let's get into what doesn't count. What doesn't count or what tends to be risky. All right. So, we're going to clear up a few common misconceptions. So, for one, hair, nails, and lashes. I get that question all the time. Does it count? Well, usually no. Usually the answer is no, unless it's directly tied to a marketing campaign and properly documented. So, for example, I had a photo shoot not too long ago, and I hired a hairstylist, a makeup artist, and it was specific to a business photo shoot, a brand photo shoot. And so that counted. And I make sure to document the reason for hairstylist expense and makeup artist expense, right? Now, let's say you wanted to hire a makeup artist just on a random day, just so you can, record your videos. The IRS might say it's more of a regular type of everyday expense, something that you would do even if it wasn't for business, right? And depending on the industry of business you're in, it may not count. And so that one is really tricky, is really nuanced, but just keep in mind that if you're going to deduct it, more than likely, if it's not tied to some type of marketing campaign, it's not going to be deductible. But of course, talk to your CPA because again, that one can be really nuanced. It's not black and white. Another category that is commonly misconstrued is clothing, the clothes we wear. So when it comes to clothes, the IRS says if you can wear it outside of business, then generally it's not deductible, right? So look what I'm wearing. This I can wear this just out and about. And so even though here I am recording for business, this wouldn't be deductible, even if I bought it for the purpose of recording my videos. The IRS will say, well, you can wear that out anywhere. But if it was a uniform, let's say it had my company name on it, and so it's super specific to the business, then yeah, that uniform would be deductible. Okay. Now, the next category of what doesn't count is your Target runs with no receipts, right? So, whether you're going to Target, Walmart, whatever store, and you don't have the receipts, let's say you pay cash. So, you don't have the receipts, you don't have a electronic trail, right? Because you paid cash. So, there's no way that you can show proof. Then, unfortunately, it would not be deductible. You need to be able to show the purpose of your purchase, your expense. And that means you need documentation. And so it's very important for that reason. Don't use cash. Like, and if you are going to use cash, if the person only takes cash, then you want to, get a piece of paper and make your own receipt where you're putting down, okay, the date, the reason, like what are you paying for, the amount, what's that person's business name, what's their name, and get a signature, right? Protect yourself, but more than likely, just pay with a card so you have it tracked. Get that documentation. Otherwise, the IRS has big reason to say that's not deductible. All right. And then the last category of what doesn't count is 100% of every meal. You're trying to deduct 100% of every business meal. Mm-mm. That's not going to fly with the IRS. Most business meals are only 50% deductible. And why is that? Well, similar to the clothes, like you got to eat, right? You got to wear clothes. And so, yes, you run a business, but just because you're going to eat out with potential clients, or it's business purpose, but you're going to eat anyway. That's what the IRS says. You're going to eat anyway. So we're not going to give you 100% deduction on your business meals. It's 50%. All right. But just know there are some meals, depending, it's more related to like corporations and team and employees. But we're not going to talk about that for today's video. The thing I want to get at with you is that, especially if you're the sole owner of your business, more than likely what you're spending money on as it relates to business meals is going to qualify for the 50% deduction. So just keep that in mind. That bottomless mimosa flight that you had at your business brunch with at the networking business brunch, that doesn't come with the full write off. It's 50%. Keep that in mind. All right. So now, how to know the difference? Here's a simple way to check yourself. Ask yourself, would I still be doing this if it weren't connected to my business? So, the example earlier when I talked about that photo shoot, thousands of dollars for a photo shoot, hiring the hairstylist, the makeup artist, would I have done that if it wasn't related to my business brand? No, I would not. I would have not spent that money. And so, more than likely, if you answer that question, no, there's a chance that it might count as a business expense. Again, it's not black and white, but that's the first way to check yourself. Okay. But you need to be able to connect the dots and document the reason. So, documentation, writing it down. Okay. So here's your action steps. You want to save your receipts. And often this is already done for you. Most times you can choose to have your receipts emailed to you instead of printed. And oftentimes you're just buying things online, so it's already going to be in your email inbox, right? So it's easy to save. Just create a folder in your email inbox and move those receipts to the folder. If you're using something such as Dropbox, Google folders, just put it in the folder. And to make it easy, you can even separate or create folders per every month, and have a system for how you organize your receipts. Okay. And you want to jot down the who, what, and why. So usually, again, this is for if you're not using a bookkeeping app, you're not using QuickBooks, you're not paying for a bookkeeper, then you can use a spreadsheet. And for each transaction, you want to jot down the date, You want to jot down the purpose, the business category, and the amount spent on that transaction. And then maybe you even have a note section for each transaction where there's a little bit more detailed. And in that detail section is where you can um, input the who and the why when it comes to those business meals. All right. Just again, put it all in a spreadsheet. And you want to start tracking from today forward. So there's no question of, oh my gosh, Chika, I've not been doing this. What do I do? Start today. There's no shame. Just start today. Okay. Now, if this video has helped you feel a little bit more clear, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up and drop drop a star emoji in the comments if you're ready to stop guessing what counts, what doesn't count. And remember, this is just the warm up. This video is just the warm up because I have the full course for you. You want to join me live next week for Make It Count, the actually fun tax workshop for women who'd rather be at brunch. And during this workshop, we're covering the write offs that matter most, how to track them like a pro, and how to finally feel confident about the way you spend in your business. It's happening June 26th, and the link to register is below. If you need more information, click that link below. The replay is included, and confidence is guaranteed. So go ahead, save your seat, sign up, tell your business bestie, and I'll see you there. Until next time, peace.